Excuse me, sir, your mic is mute.
Thanks. Yeah, so group actions require two sets. One is the group G. So we need a group and then followed by a non-empty set. Okay. So we say that G acts on X. G acts on X if there exists a map. There exists a map F from G cross X to X. Okay. So G acts on X if there exists a map F from G cross X to X such that satisfying two conditions. There are many maps from G cross X to X, but it has to satisfy some condition. Then only we say that G acts on X. So in the previous class, I told you that just recall that whatever earlier you studied. So like a scalar multiplication vector spaces, right? So it is a map from F cross V to V, like that here G cross X to X. But of course, there here G is a group, there F is a field. So just to an analogy only. And but here there are certain conditions. Here the conditions are, so F of E comma X is equal to X. So but generally we will write quantifiers before, so I'll write that way. Okay. So what is that we need to say? For every X belongs to capital X, F of E comma X is equal to X. Okay, this is the first condition. So here E is fixed. E is the identity element of the group G. Second condition is that for every X belongs to X, for every small g comma h belongs to G, right? So F of G acting on F of h comma x. Okay, F of h comma x, h is from G and x is from X, capital X. So F of F of h comma x is an element of capital X. Right now I can talk about again F of G of this. Okay, so F of G comma this thing, right? So it is an element of X and G acting on this. So that is equal to GH acting on X. Okay, so if these two conditions are satisfied, then we say that G acts on X, right? Okay, so and we made some notations changes, because here every time writing F of F like that it is little complicated. So instead of F I wrote G acting on X. Okay, we denote like this. Okay, so what is the notation? So now onwards, instead of writing F of G comma X, so we define this as simply G dot X. Sometimes I even write Gx only, so it can be understood from the context. Okay, so for more necessity is required, we'll put dot, otherwise even I'll not put dots also. Okay, so G acting on X and giving an element in X again, right? So under these conditions, what are the conditions now? How can we make them? So for every X belongs to capital X, E dot X is equal to X होना चाहिए. And second condition is that for every G comma H belongs to G, so G dot H dot X is equal to GH dot X. Okay, so these two conditions are satisfied, then we'll say that G is a group action on X. G is acting on X. And later we observed that, so in the previous class what we observed later, so now we have a group action that is just I am writing for convenience. It is taking this is an element in G cross X, right? It is an ordered pair. So it is a element in this is going to, this is mapped to element in X, right? So some element Y here, some element Y, this is belong to capital X, right? So here now if I fix G, if I fix this, okay, I keep change X, then this is now become a function of capital X. Okay, that I denoted as Fg. So now Fg become a map from X to X. Okay, so how it is defined? So Fg at X is defined as, okay, it is defined as F of G comma X. Okay, now I'm fixing G. Now once I fix G, this F, by using this I create a map from X to X, and we prove two things, easy to check. For example, is Fg is 1 1 or not? Okay, we checked this, so we can also check. Okay, so easy, Fg of x equal to Fg of y, G dot x equal to G dot y. So operating G inverse on both sides, then again use the second property of the group action. So and E dot x, first property I can use at the end, then I'll get x equal to y. So 1 1 is easy to show, and we also proved that Fg is onto also. So Fg is onto. So how we proved this one? If I take x in capital X, right? I take G inverse x here. So Fg of G inverse x, okay, G inverse dot x actually. Okay, so Fg of G inverse dot x equal to G dot G inverse of x. So that is Gg inverse dot x, E dot x, that is equal to x. So I, for every x I have an element here, G inverse dot x in x only. So it is onto. If x is finite, then no need to do this onto. Okay, so automatically 1 1 implies onto, but it is in general. So from that what we concluded, so once we have a group action, G is acting on x, G acts on x, then for each G is going to give an element in symmetric group of x. Right, this is what we observed. Once we have a G acts on x, we have a group action. So this automatically gives every element now become a map from x to x. Not only that, it is 1 1 and onto. That means it is an element in symmetric group of x. And not only we not just stop it there. So now if G acts on x, then implies, so there is a homomorphism. Okay, so there is a homomorphism from G to symmetric group of x. Okay, so map to phi of G is equal to Fg. Okay, so if G acts on x, I'll get a map here. Now I asked you as an exercise that if we have a homomorphism from G to symmetric group of x, then we can create G acts on x. Okay, so I'll write here. So converse is also true later. Okay, so this is also true. So then what is the conclusion finally from all these things? New page after. So set of all group actions on a set X so is one-to-one correspondence with set of all homomorphisms from G to symmetric group of X. Okay, so why I'm giving emphasis on this? It is because, so we have a Cayley's theorem, right? So Cayley's theorem says that every group is G, it is embedded. There is a map, injective map from G to some X, symmetric group of some X. But that X, you can prove that in the group Cayley's theorem proof may that X is in fact G we can take. Okay, so if G is finite, in particular if G is finite, then it is actually we can prove that it is isomorphic to, so it is inside Sn. There is a injective map from G to G is a finite. There exists a natural number n such that G sits inside Sn. That is the Cayley's theorem, right? So what is the advantage of that theorem again? As a corollary to that theorem, so there are finite number of groups will be there of given order. So that can be, so why I am telling that all these things here. So this is more general version than the, here in the Cayley's theorem it is a injective homomorphism, or that action is called faithful action later. Actions again classified, transitive action, faithful action. This is a faithful action. Yeah, any questions till now? So this is what we done, and a few more things are done. This is the main step we completed last time, right? Any questions till now?
Sir, Sorry, just one thing. So when you said that the corollary to Cayley's theorem is that you will get an upper bound. In fact, you'll get there's a finite number of groups of a given order, right?
Right, right.
Uh, that can be automatically deduced by saying by putting an upper bound. It's going to be n power n squared.
That is another way to prove it. So that is you are telling that. So for example, you are actually giving another way. See, you are constructing the Cayley table, right? So then the table. So each element again from this one. So each one has n choices. Total there are n square elements. Total n power n square. That is very crude upper bound. Okay, but Cayley's theorem is also giving so number of subgroups related to Sn. So it is isomorphic to a subgroup of Sn. If G is a finite group, then it is Cayley's theorem says that it is isomorphic K4, Klein 4 group, you know. But number of non-isomer, K4 group has more subgroups than the order of the group. Okay, but they may be isomorphic. Number of non-isomorphic will be again less. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, okay. So, but anyhow, we no need to go into that. So that is what you said is correct. There is a crude upper bound that is n power n square that comes from the Cayley's table. Yeah, and this is another way. Yeah. Any questions? Any other questions? So group action is clear. Sakshi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So group action is clear. Group action require two sets G and X. G acts, so G is said to act on X if there exists a function from G cross X to X satisfying these two conditions. That is in particular E dot X equal to X. From this what we conclude E dot X equal to X. So E is now taking every element of X to X. So what we can say about E? E is a, yeah, Keshav.
So what thing like you?
No, he is E. So once I fix E, na,
Oh, identity map
it is an identity map from
from X to X.
X to X. So it is actually that is the thing. So it is actually E is an element in symmetric group of X. It is an identity element in particular, right? Yeah. So that comes from here. Okay. Okay. If that is the only element, so G every G is a map, right? Every G is a map from X to X. But if it is a faithful action means E is the only identity element. So if see last time Vienna told one nice example when we discussed so many examples. Vienna gave one example that G is any group and X is any set, non-empty set. Then we define f of G comma X is equal to X. So for every G in G, for every X in X. That means every element, every group element is like an identity. So it is very badly faithful. Okay. Is it okay, Keshav?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is also a group action. Here every element is a actual identity element. It is also a homomorphism from G to symmetric group of X, but every element is mapped to identity, right? So that is related to this group action. Okay. So you can ask that if we have two groups, every element mapped to identity is also a homomorphism. What is the corresponding group action? That is this. Okay. Yeah, so these are the things related to group action definition. Now we define something. Suppose G acts on X. G acts on X, right? Once G acts on X, so then I can very nicely I can define a relation. X is related to Y. Okay, I am defining relation on X comma Y, where X comma Y belongs to capital X. So X is related to Y if there exists a G in G such that Gx equal to Y or G dot X equal to Y if you more specific. Okay. So is it a, so we proved that actually it is in fact equivalence relation on X. So are you able to see that? Reflexive, symmetric, transitive. Huh?
Yeah.
So reflexive. So how do you see that?
We'll take the identity for G.
Identity is there, right? So E dot X equal to X for every, right? So
Yeah.
there exists E, okay, E is there. Now symmetric.
Yeah, take G inverse. You have G.
Okay. G is a map from X to Y, then G inverse is a map from Y to X. It takes Y to acting Y, goes to YX. So transitivity?
Well, the product of them. So
Product of them, yeah. So it is easy. So from third property, we can get it. So it's what is this now doing? If G acts on X, it is partitions the X. Beautiful, right? So it is partitions. So not that much visible. Okay, so I will take white. So G acts on X implies, so there is an equivalence relation on X. Equivalence relation on X. Okay, so that implies it partitions X. Okay, so how that equivalence classes? Okay, so X is equal to union of equivalence classes, right? Some equivalence classes. Okay, so let us see them. X belong to some transversal. I'll tell you that in a while. Okay, so let us define that. So somebody can help me to define the equivalence class. So I'll write first here. G acts on X. Okay, then X is related to Y if there exists a G belongs to G such that G dot X equal to Y. Okay, so this is the our relation, and we proved it is equivalence relation. So now what is the equivalence class corresponding to this? Somebody help me. It is equal
G
to what?
dot X.
It is yeah, you are correct. So it is all Y first. All Y belongs to X such that there exists a G. I am just writing one more time. There exists a G belongs to G. You are correct actually. So G dot X equal to Y. But this is how can you write, as Ishan pointed out? So I can simply write this is equal to G dot X such that
G comes from the group.
G belongs to G bus, right? So this is the best one. So this actually here, this equivalence class we are calling as orbit of X. Okay, it is orbit. So G acting on them and it is taking them to different places. That is entire thing is called orbit. Very natural geometric thing. Okay, so now, so this is the thing. So now, so we'll take elements from different orbits, equivalence representative. Then that is called transversal, right? So then I can write X is equal to this F is a transversal. Anybody has any doubt on the transversal? What is a transversal? Yeah.
You said that the orbit is connected to the geometry. So could you tell me what you meant there?
Yeah, no. Okay. So generally, I'll give you examples. With that, you will see.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me 1 minute. Yeah. So transversal. Transversal means that it is a collection of the representative of the equivalence classes. Okay. So then I can write X belongs to F. So orbit of X. Right. Yeah. Good. So X is partitioned by using the that one. It is very democratic actually. This is not only giving a partition to X, it give partition to G also, but that come little later. But it give orbit of X is subset of X. At this juncture, I want to tell you it also gives one subset of G. Somebody can recall what is that subset we discussed last time?
Stabilizer.
Stabilizer of X.
Yeah, so G mod stab is yeah.
Okay. Stabilizer of X. How we defined Vienna? Is it Vienna told?
G belongs to G. such that g dot x is equal to x.
Very good, correct. You are correct. You are doubt, but you are correct. Yeah. Actually, it is all those elements which are all those elements of G fixing the x, right? So stabilizing x. Okay, and so natural question comes that is it a subgroup of G? Of course, by definition, it is subset of G. That is no problem in it. Is it a subgroup of G? So is it identity is here? Is identity fix X? Yes, right.
So it is a sub.
So E belongs to G is easy to see, and once small g and small h are in stab of X, right? So that means that G dot X equal to X, H dot X is equal to X. Then I want to see that GH acting on X is what, and also G inverse acting on X is what. Okay, easy to see that it is clearly a subgroup. So it is not only giving a subset of G, and it is also giving the it is subgroup actually, right? So what is the conclusion finally here? What we have is that for every x belongs to capital X, so I have two things. So I am getting one orbit of x. Orbit of x, it is subset of capital X, and I am getting a stabilizer of x. Okay, and it is a subset of the group G. Okay, so please do not forget what is orbit of x. Okay, stabilizer of x. These are very crucial. So these are our you can say hero, heroine, or whatever you say. So in the entire cinema, these are the main ingredients: orbit of x and stabilizer of x. Orbit of x is the set of all elements which x mapped to are G dot x. Okay, and stabilizer of x is all those elements in the group which fixes x. Okay, so this is small x. This is small x. Right? Yeah. So this much we discussed in the previous class, and we have several examples. But since many students are repeated, so I try to give more other examples than the examples which I asked in the previous class. Okay. So first we'll start with a simple example. So example 1, right? So the example 1 is that you take G is equal to 1, 1, 3. So it is a so transposition 1, 3 and 2, 4, 6. Okay, that is 2 goes to 4, 4 goes to 6, and 6 goes to 2. 2, 6, 4. Right, and 1, 1, 3, 2, 4, 6. And 1, 3, 2, 6, 4. Very simple. 2, 6, 4. Okay, so how many elements are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So somebody can tell me it is subgroup of what?
S6.
It is subgroup of S6. Okay, it is subgroup of S6. Now I want to see that I am taking my x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so how G acts on x? So natural action S6 acts. So last time we discussed that. So how S6 acts on Vienna told it seems at that time. So sigma, if I belong to S6, so sigma acting on the set x. Okay, so we take any small x. Okay, so it is equal to sigma of x. Okay, what I mean is x belong to this 1, 2, 3 and so on n or 6 here. Okay, so then x I take 2 and I take sigma. So the sigma takes 2 to some number. So now it is again an element. So it is a map from, yeah, I hope it is clear to you. This is what we discussed in the previous class. Right? Okay. So I hope the action is clear, and we proved that it is actually a group action. So last time. So I do not want to repeat that, but I want you to check that what is the orbit of the elements. No? So I take 1 belongs to capital X. So what is the orbit of 1 and stabilizer of 1? All right. Yeah. So somebody can help me. What is the orbit of 1?
Cyclic group is a cyclic generated. In what I mean is it's generated by sigma of 1. So in the sense it's going to be the set containing 1 comma sigma of 1 comma sigma square of 1 and so on.
No.
1 and 3.
See, already I gave the set here.
Okay,
So
okay,
it is taking, these are the elements, right? I told you that how action is there, but these are the elements. So this takes 1 to 1 only. This takes 1 to 3. None of them are affecting here also 1 to 3 and 1 to 3. So at most, is there any permutation which takes 1 to some other element in this set G, in this group G? No. So what is orbit of 1? So as we are not told, it is 1 comma 3. What is stabilizer of 1?
So 1, 2, 4, 6.
1 and 1 is one thing. 1 is fixing. It is not taking 1 to any place. And next one is
246 or 264.
246 and 264. So it is not changing. These elements will not changing. So it is a subgroup of that original group. So it is a subgroup of order 3 in the original group. Okay. So now can you one more example likhte hain, right? So 2 belongs to X. So what is orbit of 2?
246.
246. Very good. So 2, which element will take 2 to 4 here? This element, right? Yeah. And this guy takes 2 to 6. So these are all 1 orbit. Okay. Then I don't need to write, na? So now look at that. What is orbit of 4? Hello?
246.
246 only. Orbit of 6 also 246 only. So I already computed actually for 1 and 3 246 के लिए orbits मैंने complete किया. Okay. So that is also
it's an equivalence class, right?
equivalence class. Yeah, good. So that's why. Yeah. So now what is the stabilizer of 2?
So 1,
1 and 1, 3.
1 and 1 3. Right. 1 and 1 3. So these two only will fix it. Right. Yeah. So stabilizer of this is this. Okay, what about now left? Okay, this is also equal to now. What about the stabilizer of 4? Luckily, these are also same. All right. Okay, you can check that later. So it is also equal to stabilizer of 4. Okay, orbits anyhow same. Okay, what about 5?
The whole group.
Be careful. What are the things? Which one you are telling? Whole group is
Stabilizer.
stabilizer you are telling. Stabilizer is the whole of G. Very good. What about the orbit?
singleton 5.
Only
Singleton 5. Okay. So every element is fixing 5. So that's why the stabilizer is whole of the group, and whereas orbit is singleton. Okay. So those elements will denote like this. What the meaning of this one? So what is a definition of Xg? So all those X in X such that somebody can help me. So G, for every G dot for every G in G, for every G in G, what is that? G dot X equal to X. So it is these are all fixed points. These are called fixed points. I hope you understand. So in this example, Xg is only singleton 5. So sometimes depending upon the group, Xg is more also. Right? Are you okay? Any questions? Okay, good. So how do you say that if x belongs to xg implies what? Some other criterion, can you say, in terms of orbits or something? In terms of orbits in particular.
Stabilizer is, sorry, orbit.
Yeah, orbit.
Orbit is
Still
singleton X.
orbit is singleton x.
Orbit.
Yeah, orbit is singleton x. Right, all of you are okay? Orbit of x is that singleton x. Okay, so this way also we can define. Okay, so xg is equal to all x belongs to x such that orbit of x is equal to x only. So this is the way also we can define. Okay, so these are all fixed points. So set of all fixed points under the action of g on x. They are not affected by
That this G is a group, no? So can we say that equivalently that order of orbit X is 1? Means that way we can define.
Yeah, correct, 100%. So that means order of this is also equal to x belongs to x such that order of orbit of x equal to 1, 100% correct, because it is a reflexive, at least one element will be there and it has to be one element only now, right? That's why we can define this way also, correct. Yeah, so now let us see how do you now write x, okay? How do you write x now? So it is union of the all orbits, right? Orbit of x, where x belongs to the transversal. Okay, but this can be expressed as, somebody can help me write a class equation we wrote earlier. So first I will write here xg union. What is xg? All those orbits singleton सारी के collect किया है. That is xg, right? It is not one orbit, it is union of many orbits, but all the orbits are of the size 1. Union
Orbit X.
Orbit x, where size of orbit x is
Okay.
orbit size is greater than
1.
1. Like that also we can say. Or x belongs to f, orbit of x greater than size is greater than. Okay, so I can write that way. For example, in this particular example, earlier example, so my 1 2 3 4 5, my x is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so this is equal to 5. This is my xg union 1 3 is one set, so orbit size is greater than 1, union 4 2 4 6, another orbit. Okay, these only, there are total 3 orbits are there. Yeah. So is it okay? This is called class equation. So all other class equations will come from here also. So this is more general. Okay, so this is called class equation in particular. So you may be worried that earlier that is called class equation. Okay, so for that purpose I will now bring that into here. Okay, so my group is G, my x is also equal to G, right? So now G acts on G on x. So instead of writing, I'll write like this: G acts on x. Okay, so G acts on x. So can you give me one action?
Normal operation.
So normal. Akash.
Correct.
Yeah, operation. So G dot x is equal to, defined as simply Gx, left multiplication, right? Very good. So left multiplication. So under this action, what is orbit of x?
It's all of G.
Very good. So under this action, orbit of x is the whole of G. Okay, you take any element. So how many orbits are there here?
There's one.
Only one
That's
orbit. Only one. So what is that action called?
Transitive.
Transitive. If we have only one action, if we have only one action, only one orbit implies the action is called transitive. Okay, in that case, what about the stabilizers?
They're all singleton E.
Yeah, stabilizer of x is only E for every x. So for every x, this is the thing happening, right? Okay, good. So here stabilizers completely computed, orbits completely computed, right? Right, good. And G can also act in many ways, right? So can somebody give me some other action? G dot x, not you people, whatever you people told till now.
So I just want
Is
to say
GX?
Wait, Vienna.
Plus.
Vienna, Ishan, you people do not tell. Somebody else. Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, Akash. Yeah, tell.
Yeah, one thing. So there's two ways of doing it. So in general, we can say g of x equals xg inverse.
Okay, see, right now I told in the previous class, I forget to tell. I'm only talking about the left action at this juncture. Right action I'm not taking at this juncture.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Anyhow, so there are many ways. So right. So somebody else now can tell me that some other action g dot x equal to. So Aparna, Samhita, Rashika, Sakshi.
So GX
GX G inverse. Very good. Rashika. Yeah, GX G inverse. Okay. So, but we need to check carefully. Yes.
Sorry. I said okay, but I don't think I never involved right actions because what I said was g equals xg inverse. I never
X inverse.
Yeah. I never said about anything about right actions.
Okay, but anyhow, so yeah, so this also can be worked out. Yeah.
Xg inverse, not gx inverse.
So xg inverse, that is what I'm saying. So something related to that right action, right?
No, sir. Because it's a action. Because G is acting on G, xg inverse is defined in G because it's just a group operation.
No. Yeah. That see. When you are already both are G, then you should not confuse, na? I am telling G acting on X. So elements in the capital X I am calling as X, right? I don't know. So XG inverse. So I hope you understand my concerns. So, otherwise, I am unable to understand. Okay, anyhow.
The reason why I'm confused is because XT inverse is just an element in G, right?
No, that's understand, ma'am. I'm clear about. I'm also saying the same thing. When here in a particular these cases, little bit confusion may come. So I'm saying that G from capital G and X from capital X. So think X is a set.
Okay.
I'm requesting to think that way in this particular. Okay. So yeah. So GX G inverse. So GX G inverse. So please check that whether it is a. So what is E dot X, right? So E dot X is that for every X in the group G, E dot X is that EX E inverse, that is again X only. So it is first property satisfied. Second property that G dot H acting on X is equal to G acting on H acting on X. Okay. So we need to check also, and it is true. I hope you can do it this part. So it is a group action. Okay. So 100% G acting on this. This is called conjugacy action. This has separate names. It is called conjugacy action. In fact, what I am doing is that conjugacy operation you are familiar with. Now I am converting it. Now I am making it as an example only now. So it is one of the actions only. G acting on X. It is a group action, right? So here where that what is can when it be transitive? Can it be transitive?
Yes, for an abelian group.
Okay, so how it is transitive? Be careful, you are making mistake. Be
So
careful.
every time it's transitive.
1 second. Transitive is one orbit, right?
Transitive is one orbit.
Yeah, and for an
It is
abelian group,
completely
so
reverse. It is completely reverse. It give only all are fixed points. Okay, so I'll say.
yes, of course. Yeah.
So actually, so G dot E, sorry, G dot X. So when G is abelian, yeah, you understood, but again I'm saying for. So G dot X is equal to Gx G inverse. So abelian, so G inverse X, so it is equal to X. So every element is acting trivially. So that trivial action which we earlier we thought of, right? So each element has single orbit element. So every element is fixed. So xg is now whole of g in this particular when g is abelian. That is exactly the xg is nothing but center. You remember in this particular case. So xg and centers are same. Okay, and the stabilizer is
Whole of G.
whole of G is fine, but how do you connect? So I am telling you, these xg now connected to in this particular action, in the conjugacy action, it is equal to the center of the group. All elements which are fixed, they are exactly the center of the group in general. So even not abelian case, I am telling. Okay, conjugacy action may which elements are fixed? Those elements which commutes with everybody, right? Otherwise, it go to somebody else, na? So Xg is exactly the center of the group under conjugacy action. So I am asking what about the stabilizer of X? What actually stabilizer of X means? What actually? So actually what is the stabilizer of X? All that all those X belongs to all those G belongs to G such that Gx equal to X, right? But all those G belongs to G. So Gx equal to X means so G inverse Xg is equal to X. That is all those G in G such that Xg is equal to Gx. That means all those G in G which commutes with X. So that is exactly the centralizer of X. Okay, centralizer of G and centralizer of an X. These two are different. Okay, so Z of G is always contained here. Okay, so so Z of X is only those elements commute with X. Z of G is all elements with commute with everybody in the G, right? So stabilizer is this centralizer of an element X, and fixed points are center of the group G. Is it clear? Yeah, may hurry or let me know. Viana, is it clear to you?
Yes. So if it is singleton, then that is G. Means only X commutes only with X, like that.
Right. X singleton means that no, singleton means that commute with everybody. Okay, we'll go slowly again then. Okay.
No, centralizer of X should be
Centralizer of X. Okay, centralizer of X equal to Z of X equal to X means Z of X equal
then,
to X. This meaning is that it commuting only with X itself. No, none, it is not
but
commuting with any.
identity is of
Identity is always be there. So that's why
will
what
never
is the Q?
happen.
So what is that happens now? This is actually one of the major thing. Okay. So Z of X dimension is always cardinality is always in the finite groups again. Okay. If you are talking
If
about finite groups, then we can say that it is always greater than or equal to 2.
if G is not singleton.
Of course. Of course. Now do not squeeze me like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good.
So we can say it is greater than or equal to order of X.
Right. Right. Order of X. Very good. Not orbit, order of X. Yeah. Thanks. Order of X. Correct. Yeah. That is better actually. Yeah, but why at least 2 and all I am telling is that later in the conjugacy, that class equation also it will be very useful. Okay, in particular when it is a group of prime order, so P divides the center of the group with this quantity is very useful. Yeah, so anyhow, so this conjugacy action is clear. What are the orbits and stabilizers? So what is the orbit of E under this action? Conjugacy action.
Just singleton E.
Singleton E. Okay, because E commutes with everybody. The center of this is another way to see that. Okay, so it is singleton if and only if center of the element centralizer of the is equal to the center of the group. Yeah, so many things can be derived from here. Okay, any questions? Any more questions? Okay, so then I will ask one question as I promised that some sort of bringing geometry and other aspects. See, why I am telling orbits actually, you know that dynamical systems, many other places. So concept of orbits will come, right? In physics also. So it is acting. So it is acting and it is creating some orbit where they are going. In the football game, again you kick, and where the ball goes. Okay, that is orbit. So like that, just okay. But let us have some examples. Okay, so very good question to you. Let G is equal to R. My group is R, right? So and my X is equal to R square, R2. Are you clear? Okay. Now I need to tell the action, right? How it is acting. I take a real number T, and now I hope by this time you are also thinking in your brain that it is a group with respect to which operation, right? R is a group with respect to addition only. All these things we need to think about before we proceed further. Okay, I am defining like this: e power tx, e power minus ty. Is the map clear? So it is a map from where to where? Group to R2. Okay, and where it is taking element is again mapped to element in R2 only. This is an element in R2, right? Okay, so I wrote this is informal. Okay, I hope you understand. Yeah, so you need to check every time. Please check that whether it is really a home or group action. So what is identity element in real numbers with respect to addition? 0. So is 0 what is doing? E power 0x, e power whatever xy you take, e power 0x, e power 0y is xy only. So no problem. So next we take the sum. So T1 plus T2. First T1 acting, T2 acting. I hope you can easily see that. So I hope you are convinced that it is a group action. So now we go to the orbits. Okay. Yeah, tell me the orbits.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask something.
Mm-hmm.
So with what you're doing basically with this e power t is basically converting the group R into something that is going to be isomorphic to R minus 0, right?
R minus 0. Okay, maybe.
With respect to multiplication.
And yeah, so that T going to like that, T going to R minus 0 is agreed.
Because what I wanted to look at was...
But I want to see that it is acting on R2, how elements in R2 are behaving.
No, the reason why I brought that up was if you look at the set of all e power t such that t belongs to R. What you're basically going to get is that you will find out, you can define operations on this, like how you'll naturally define. So you'll get e power x into e power y is e power x plus y. So you'll naturally have inverses and the identity is just going to be e power 0. Now this group is going to be isomorphic to the group R minus 0.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's
what I wanted to do, because what we're basically doing is we're just trying to emulate how we can get R minus 0 from R itself.
Okay, that is another way to look into that. That is very confined to R to R planes. Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, so now I want to find orbits here. Yeah, that also you keep in your mind. He's rightly pointed out that e power t, e power minus t is always non-negative. That is going to help you now while constructing the orbits. Okay, so how do you,
Orbit of 0.
very good. First thing we need to see is this, right? What is orbit of 0 comma 0? Yeah, so tell me what is orbit of 0 comma 0?
Singleton zeros.
Singleton, okay, very good, correct answer. So it is not going anywhere. Whatever the t you take, x comma y 0 comma 0, then it is e power t 0, e power minus t 0, it is 0 0 only. So 0 0 cannot map out to any other guy. Okay, good. Now what about orbit of 1 comma 0? Yeah, tell me that.
The line positive
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, I was thinking like here, can we say like x into y is invariant, so that will remain always like fixed.
I am not understand, but I am asking you that what is orbit of 1 0? That is a question asked, but you want to say something?
t, t0 where t is strictly greater than 0.
Very good. So t comma 0 such that t is strictly greater than 0. Aparna, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what we are not told. Okay. Why this is? Can you guess it?
So, because it will be e power t comma 0 and e power t takes non-negative values. So, sorry,
So,
positive.
yeah. So e power t comma you are correct. So orbit of 1 0 is actually e power t ka into 1 and e power minus t into 0. This guy is 0. So that's why 0. Now it is any positive real number I can get it. So which part of the, what is orbit of 1 0 geometrically? The positive x-axis, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, positive x-axis. So now what about, now how do, but I need entire R2, na? Orbits union equal to entire R2. But I just covered only 0 0 and positive x-axis. So I need to go, I have to take many orbits now, right? Yeah, now come up. Next what I will take?
1 0
Orbit of
0 1.
0 1, okay. What about this guy?
That will be like positive y axis.
Positive y-axis, okay, right. Is that t greater than 0, correct. So that is this positive part, okay, right. Yes.
And like we can take negatives to cover the
Negatives, orbits of minus 1 comma 0, right. So this is, sorry. So this is going to be negative x-axis and orbit of 0 comma minus 1 will be the negative y-axis. So I covered axis including 0, right? What about others? Now what is that? Now I have to take orbit of some xy, right? Yeah.
Is the are the orbits, the various orbits, going to rotate that x greater than 0 ray?
No, rotate and all not like that. Okay, you are, so you can ask that. Let us see that. Give me some time now. Orbits is actually, it is a set. Orbit is a set. Orbit of a given element is that they are coming from operating the group elements on that. What are the different elements I can get it? Okay, so you can say that whatever the element you take from R, I cannot get from x-axis element to y-axis. I cannot map it under this action. Okay.
Sir,
No, actually, what?
Yeah.
So I think it will be like a family of hyperbolas.
Okay, let us see. Okay, you are telling that x into y is now not equal to 0, right?
Yes, sir. Whenever this.
Yeah. So here, what is that you are collecting? So actually, what is orbit by definition? So actually, I don't know why other people are not silent today. So orbit of xy is equal to, what is the definition, right? E power minus t x comma e power plus tx comma e power minus ty such that t belongs to R, right? That is equivalent to, I can say uv, right? Ordered pair uv, u equal to this and v equal to this. Okay, I'm just modifying it, right? Such that, what is the condition now?
Sir, xy uv is
Y will be constant.
uv equal to
xy.
So x and y is fixed. X into y, this is fixed. This is a fixed number. Now I am keep changing uv. Right? This belongs to R2 if you want. Okay. But again, xy equal to not equal to 0, there are many problems are there. Be careful about that also. So first of all, yeah, you told it is a hyperbola, right? But hyperbola, is it hyperbola? Surely.
Like
Part of hyperbola, what is that? Be
yes,
careful about.
half, like the one
Half.
half.
Wherever it is lies in that coordinate only. If both x and y are positive, then it will be like this, right? Are you
Yes.
there? Yeah. So another x and y into x into y is negative. So then it can be here, or whatever the coordinate, they are going to be here, there, right? So like that, I'll get various curves, and their union is the whole of R2. Okay, it is partition R2. Is it okay, Aparna?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Sakshi, is that example is clear? What are all orbits of action of R on R2?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Please let me know.
Sir, actually, sir, I want to ask, like, sir, initially I was thinking that this product remains invariant under this operation. Like, sir, can we say the orbit is just the set which remains invariant under some kind of like operation we perform?
Yeah. So certain things are there, certain numbers. Orbits are actually invariant sets only, right? So, okay. So we'll come to that slowly. See, yeah. So that they are actually exactly invariant parts. G takes that set to itself only. So R, for example, R x-axis value, can I take it to some other place? No. That particular thing is invariant. It is taking that set to the itself only. Transitivity means it is now I do not getting any information. More orbits is more advantage, means some sense. Are you clear now? Little bit. Yeah, it is vague. I understand. Yeah, but more examples will help you slowly to understand. Yeah, I'll give one more example that may be very ignite you more motivation. Yeah, so I'm taking this, my group is equal to GLN of R. Okay, my group is equal to GLN of R. I'll be concentrate. Okay, take deep breathe, and we'll work on this problem. Okay, this problem looks simple but very nice problem. I'm taking x equal to R power n. So G acting on x. So what is action? Okay, so my action is now I'm defining that so a comma vector x. Okay, small x is a vector, a is a matrix, non-singular matrix. So it is defined as it is equal to ax only, a multiplied to x, right? So for convenience, first I will start with a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so like A, B, C, D. Okay, so before going further, so what is this answer? What is that AB10?
First column.
First column. Yeah, it is first column. So 1 0 if you do, I'll get first column. Right? Beautiful. Okay, fine. So it is action is like this. Okay. So and in particular I told, so this is an AD minus BC is not equal to 0. So first I am doing for 2 by 2 case, and even in your mind you can do for r equal to n equal to 1 case also, right? So in that case GLN of r is what, you know, right? N equal to 1 case, and G acting on r itself. What do you mean by that? Okay, so we'll come to that in a while. Okay. So now can you tell me, we'll going to construct all orbits and stabilizers now for this particular case. So can you, what is a natural question comes? What is the first element you look for? Orbit of?
0, 0.
0.
0, 0, correct. So what is orbit of 0, 0?
Singleton 0.
Singleton 0, because 0, 0 cannot be taken to any other person, right? Any other vector. So, and automatically I want to ask this question. So what is the stabilizer of 0, 0? What do you mean by stabilizer? All those group elements which takes 0, 0 to 0, 0.
All
Everything.
Everything, GLN of R, very good. Okay, this part I computed both for this vector, I computed orbit as well as the stabilizer. Nice. Now my natural next element is 1, 0. Okay, I'm just starting with that 1, 0. So what is orbit of 1, 0? Okay, what is your guess?
R2.
Of course 0, 0 you cannot get.
R2 minus 0.
Okay, so let us see. Okay, let us see. Your conclusion is that it is whole of R2 minus 0, 0. Okay. So that first fast how you got, I don't know. Right. But
No, we can construct every matrix with non-zero determinant because B and D is in our hand. So you take any
okay.
AC.
Go slowly because let other people. So you are saying something. So just say one after the another so that other people will follow. Okay, you are saying that this is true. You are saying first.
Maybe. Yes.
It is yes. Okay. Let us see. So right now still conjecture. Okay. So in order to show this, what is that I have to show? If I take any element here, there is a group element which takes 1, 0 to that guy. Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. I take AB belongs to R2 minus 0, 0. Right? Yeah, good. So what is that I want to construct? Now I want to show that in this orbit means there exists a matrix, some matrix, right? A belong to GL2 of R. What is the condition? A times. Remember, it is in GL2 of R. It should be non-singular, and also it is taking 1, 0 to AB. Right? Yeah.
So first column we take just AB.
Yeah, so by already that's the reason I asked this question in the very beginning. A, B, C, D, 1, 0, you'll get the first column. Okay, yeah, good. So now there is no choice for me. This is equal to AB means this has to be AB here. Now if I multiply into 1, 0, I am automatically getting AB. There is no problem, right? But now the question coming is that what are these two? So I can take anything, but what is that requirement?
It's a non-zero.
AD minus.
Yeah. So how do I choose it? Now so A into B, A square plus B square is not equal to 0. I know, right? Why I am telling that? What is the need for to tell that? Because 0, 0 part I am done, right? 0, 0 part I am done. At least one of them is non-zero I am taking. So that least A square plus B square is not equal to 0. So either A not equal to 0 or B not equal to 0. So then how do I choose it?
So minus BA.
Minus BA.
Very good. Minus BA. So there are many ways to select, but so this may be helpful to you that at least one I can get it, right? But you can choose anything here. XY says that but whenever you are want to give, there exists, so it is better to give the particular number. Yeah. So Sakshi.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Sir, I got disconnected in between. Can you explain it once more?
Yeah, this is very, very important actually. See, it is irrespective of which way what you are doing. So this example is a wonderful example, right? So better to learn it. So at least you will appreciate this. So GLN acting on Rn, acting is defined as A acting on X as A into X only, right? You take n by n matrix and vector X n cross 1, then I will get n cross 1 again, y, right? So it is taking Rn to Rn. Every matrix, and once I fix a matrix, it take vector to vector. Okay. So, but I am explaining first with a 2 by 2 matrices. So I take ABCD, I just multiplied 1, 0. What is happening? It is AC, first column. So that much is done first. Then we've computed orbit of 0, 0. You take any matrix, multiply it to 0, I'll get 0 only. So 0, 0 cannot map it to any other guy. That means orbit of 0 is 0, 0 is 0 only. Stabilizer. What are the matrices which GLN which fixes 0, 0? Every matrix fixes 0, 0. That's why it is whole of GLN. Next thing, what is orbit of 1, 0? So Vienna told that, Vienna and Keshav told that it is whole of R2 minus 0, 0. Right? So to show that one, I take AB. Okay. I take, so one part is clear that orbit of 1, 0 is subset of this. So whenever you want to show two sets are equal, I want to show this is subset of this is subset of this. But one part is clear, this is subset of this is clear, because orbit of 0, 0 is 0 already we done. So clearly it is subset of this one. So all are important. Okay. They are internally they are there. Is it okay, Akash?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now I am proving that R2 minus 0, 0 contained in this. So for that I took an element AB belongs to R2 minus 0, 0. I want to show it is in the orbit of 1, 0. When it is will be in the orbit of 1, 0, there exists a matrix A such that A times 1, 0 equal to AB. But we know that A times 1, 0 is the first column. So right, that is AB. So now I need to find out this guy. So for this one I choose A square plus B square is not equal to 0 minus BA I choose. Yes, please. Any questions? Yeah.
Sorry, I just skipped a few things. So what you're saying is the only orbits will be 0 and R2 minus Rn minus 0.
Right, exactly. So the in this under this action, R2 is equal to 0, 0 this one. This is one orbit union other thing entire thing R2 minus 0, 0. Beautiful, right?
No, so yeah, but I'm saying it's not just for 2. You can replace it by n.
Okay, okay. That is understood. Yeah, even that is. So I want to prove that. I want to ask you now. How do you construct those? I'll come it in a while. Yeah. At this juncture, I am just telling for R2. Yeah.
So because we proved before that orbits partition, so we automatically know all the orbits now.
Yeah, we know all the orbits now. Right, exactly.
We didn't even need to calculate them.
Yeah, we don't need to now calculate 2 0 का 1 2 का क्या होगा. सारी की सारी एक ही orbit है. Yeah, that is that is yes 100%. Now you no need to compute any orbits. Orbits सारी की सारी हो गया. And also we computed the stabilizer of this. Now how stabilizers behave? It is little interesting. So let us check that. So, but I will ask Samhita. So first to define that, what is a stabilizer of 1, 0?
Yes, sir.
Can you define?
So sorry, actually, like I joined in a bit late, so I didn't properly get the definition of stabilizers. I understood the orbits, but then
stabilizers are that's what that's why I asked you.
Yes, sir.
Understanding that, but so you should not waste time. So better you ask. Okay. So stabilizers are that all those matrices which fixes 1 0. See.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Stabilizers of 0 0 is entire GLN of R. Why? Every
matrix
6 0 0.
Yes, sir. Okay.
A times 0 0 is equal to 0 0 only.
Okay, all right.
I'm collecting all those matrices which fixing 0 0.
Okay, all right, sir, got it.
So now you are, I asked, whatever I asked, I told, but again you repeat actually as in the form of set.
Okay, so the set of all those 2 cross 2 matrices, A.
No, not 2 cross 2 matrices, much more. Which is acting on which one? G acting on X.
Okay, sorry, the set of all 2 cross 2 matrices, like from GLN of R.
So here I'm looking for 2, so GL2 of R, okay?
Yes, sir.
Such that
the first A.
I'm calling E1, okay?
Okay.
AE1 is equal to?
Is equal to A. Sorry, is equal to E1.
Yeah, which fixes E1, right?
Yes, sir.
All those matrices, it is subgroup of the group G. Subgroup, but this 1 0 is fixed. It is an element of the group acting on X. There are 2 sets involved in the group action. I took one element from the X and I'm collecting all those matrices. So somebody can help me in this little different way. In English, you can say what I am collecting. When I saw this one, I'm very excited actually. So maybe one of you may be happy with that, maybe like me. I'm collecting which matrices?
Diagonal.
Invertible matrices.
Okay, that is anyhow, that is a different.
Triangular.
Okay, that is also okay.
E1 and R2 is
eigenvector. Okay, so I am collecting all those matrices for which E1 is an eigenvector with eigenvalue 1. When I saw this, I am very happy actually, but I don't know you people. Stabilizers are exactly those matrices. Stabilizer of a vector X is the set of all matrices for which I am collecting all the matrices for which this given vector X is eigenvector with eigenvalue 1. And bad luck, no one wrote actually this, any textbook.
Sir, actually this A I can interpret as a linear transformation from Rn to Rn. And when I'm saying that A of E1 equal to E1, that means that linear transformation is taking E1 to E1 only.
Yes, correct.
That's why this thing is happening probably.
Right.
That.
Anyhow, now it is fine. But now what is the goal now? I want to find all matrices for which 1 0 is an eigenvector with eigenvalue 1. Okay, so what is that I am looking? I am looking all those matrices A, B, C, D such that, and it is AD minus BC not equal to 0, and also 1 into 0 I have to get again 1 0. Okay, I am just see, we cannot do for every vector, so we'll do for one vector and later we'll generalize, right? Okay, so now how do you go about? What is that set? Okay, think about. I'll write again here. Stabilizer of 1 0. Stabilizer of 1 0 is set of all matrices belongs to GL2 of R such that A10 is equal to 1 0. Right? So I'll take ABCD. Right? So GL2R actually has to come here, okay, with the condition. Okay, so now tell me that.
So like A equal to 1, C equal to 0.
Okay, so that means that now I write here, right? So 1 0 I have to take, right? So here I'll put star, okay.
Second star non-zero.
Okay, so I'll write much more, okay. So here I'll take some X.
Still, the lower one is non-zero.
Yeah, so such that wantedly I am putting star. Okay, I can write y. Okay, so it is sufficient, right?
Yes, sir.
So so how many are varying here? X is varying. So here x belongs to R and star belongs to R minus 0. So that is sufficient. So many vectors are, so many matrices are there for which 1, 0 is an eigenvector. I'm collecting all those matrices, right? So like that you have to change this and you have to find the stabilizers. So you sometimes, yeah, so it is not the stabilizers are different. Okay. Any questions till now? So n equal to 1 case you can work out. Now I'll go for n equal general n. Okay. So now with this all the things you enjoyed, then I think you will tell for Ishan already started telling. You will tell for the general case, right? So I'll go slowly one after the another. So now I am taking A belongs to stabilizer of orbits first. So orbit of 0 vector. Okay. So orbit of I am writing 0 vector is equal to 0 only. This is done. Orbit of E1 is what?
Rn minus 0.
Yeah, but again you are telling Rn minus 0. Very good. But how do you prove it? So again, one part is clear that orbit of E1 contained in Rn minus 0 is very much clear. But I want to prove other direction. Right? That means that A into E1 equal to that vector I have to get. Right? So I take V belongs to Rn minus 0. Means 0 vector, non-zero vector. Now what is your goal? You have to find out a matrix A such that A into 1 0 equal to V होना चाहिए.
Put the first column as V first.
Very good, very good.
Then adjust the entries somehow so that determinant is not 0.
But that is 100% correct. But we need to go in a very our previous knowledge, some theorem, some certain things. So go slowly. What do you know about V? Yes, Anirban. Yeah.
V is a non-zero vector, we know. So singleton V is linearly independent in Rn.
Very good, very good. So singleton V is linearly independent. Every singleton non-zero vector is linearly independent. So it is linearly independent. Yeah, next.
Now we can extend it to a basis of Rn.
See the beauty? So 2 by 2 and n by n, the beauty you see this here. Extend it to the basis of Rn. Okay. So now collect those vectors, right? Now I have V, some other vectors. So V1, V2 up to Vn minus 1, and it is a basis for Rn. Okay. Now how many ways you can extend? That many matrices will come, right? But I need at least one. One is anyhow there, right? So I can get at least one. So existence, right? So we proved that way. Is it okay, Viana? But your answer is correct. But how do you generally construct? Is there any mechanism? This is the what.
Yeah, this is better.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So till now, anybody has any doubts? Rashika, are you is fine with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about the stabilizer now?
Sir, I didn't understand the construction. Could you explain it?
Which construction?
So
yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, first of all. Yeah.
So that that V belongs to Rn minus 0.
See.
Yeah, that orbit thing.
Yeah, orbit means what?
It is the set of all matrices, like the set of all elements which when multiplied by E1, what the results? Like
where it goes to, right? Correct. Yeah. So we are claiming that So you give me any vector, non-zero vector, right? So there exists a non-singular matrix as that this equal to this.
Yes, sir.
We are climbing that.
Yeah.
So that means now goal is to find when I give V, E1 is already fixed.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm finding orbit for E1.
Yes.
My goal is to find a matrix now.
Yeah.
As that when I multiply it to E1, it gives V.
Yes, sir.
But you know that if I multiply any matrix with E1, it will give the first column.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So that's why my V is a non-zero vector. I took that as my first column.
Yes, sir.
So this is my first column, right? And
yes.
Now there is a result in the linear algebra, very basic question, that every linear independent set can be extended to form a basis of vector space V.
Yes, sir.
So that result I am using. So singleton vector, single non-zero vector is always linearly independent. So this can be extended to form basis for Rn. So I extended V1, V2, n minus 1 remaining n minus vectors I found such that center thing is a basis.
Yes, sir. Got
Once
it.
it is a basis, now I can convert my matrix as matrix equal to first column is this, second column is V1, third column is V2, and so on. Last column is Vn minus 1. Okay, this is my matrix. If I multiply to E1, I'll get V.
Got it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
But you know, here you have to know that the determinant is going to be non-zero.
Right. So but the basis, automatically means linearly independent. Na? Linear independent means determinant is not equal to 0.
Yeah, that's fine. I was actually going the same thing. I would look in a different way. Once you have said that A is a linear map, which is taking E1 to V, then E2 to whatever, you get that it's invertible. So if it's invertible,
no, that we need to find out. I have to find out map.
It's taking the E1. It's taking a basis.
Only
to
one
basis.
vector to no. It is. I not told anything. Only taking E1 to V. That much only I know.
Yeah.
But I want to construct a map which takes E1 to V and it is non-singular.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. When you're trying, I'm trying to say, why does this thing have determinant 0 without really talking about matrices? Because I don't know about matrices. That's it. So I would construct a map which takes the map will be A, and A is going to take E1 to V and E2, E3 to V2, V3, so on and so forth, right?
Okay. So
now
you are
actually,
okay. What you are saying, I'll write in here.
Yeah.
So you know the matrix linear transformations once you know the action on the basis. I'm putting in more concrete way, systematic way. E1 is already a non-zero vector. Okay. And E1, E2 and so on, some En basis, standard basis. So now I will take E1 to V. Okay. And remaining I will add any n plus 1 vectors here.
No, I will take that to be another basis. So V you can extend to a basis.
Actually, not required. Anyhow, that's okay. That is also not required actually. Yeah, but yeah. So okay, it is also basis you can choose. Then actually, then it becomes a invertible map, and we'll get those things. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
So you take anything, then it is need not be invertible, but invertible ke liye you also take a basis here, right? Yeah, that can be, and one of the matrix representation to that. Okay, that is so every linear transformation has a matrix representation. So one of the matrix you can take it. So yeah, so that is another way from coming from the linear transformations, right? Okay, now we'll go to the stabilizer. So stabilizer of E1, yeah. So how do you get it? So can you somebody?
We know that first column will be E1.
Okay,
that much only.
So this much we know, right? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now what is that I had to ensure and take care and such that. So this is again, if I multiply E1, I'll get E1, right? This part is okay now, E1 is even, right? But I need to take care of that is in GLNFR. So for that, so can I take here some star, and here some matrix W, say let us say W, right? So what is the dimension of, what is where it belongs to?
So GLN minus
1. So if you take like that, you are done. So what I'm saying, this W belongs to GLN minus 1 of R. So the lot of freedom is available with us. So W can be any GLN minus 1 of R, and the stars also anything. Okay, if you want, you can put star 1, star 2 like that much more clearly, right? Yeah. Any questions? So that's why I done first 2 by 2, so that more clarity will come when you go to n by n. But you, as an exercise, you try to do for the 1 by 1, easy, right? I give very simple case. I hope you do it. So can I proceed? Any questions? So I gave some nice examples. Now I go to some theory. Okay, the rest of the time. Okay. See, G acting on X. G acts on X. Then what is happening? So some action is G dot X. Okay. So simply Gx I'll write. Okay. So we have some action. So then I take small x belongs to capital X. Then we are aware that it will give two things to us. One is orbit of X, that is subset of X, and stabilizer of X, that is subgroup of G. Good, correct. Okay. Now I have X, right? So this action is dividing the my group into so my set X into different orbits, right? So it is divided my X into different orbits. So here I am writing orbit of X. Okay. Sometimes it is a whole of X also. Okay. Sorry, this diagram may be mislead in that case, but for understanding only I am telling. So can you tell me, these are the elements in the orbit of X. Can you tell me one element in the orbit of X?
It's an X itself.
X itself, good. So we have X itself, right? So you understood here that there are many elements which takes X to X and X to Y, right? You see that many times. So stabilizers are so many elements are there which taking X to X. Are you see that, right? I hope you are comfortable with that. Now there are so many matrices in this example, earlier example, it's taking X to X. Now I take Y, another element in the orbit of. So what do you mean by Y is in the orbit of X?
Y is related to X.
Y is related to X. What does that means? Implies?
Y is equal to G dot X.
There is a G belongs to G, such that G dot X equal to Y. Please remember that. So Y is in the orbit of X means there is a G. So at least one G is there, right? So now I define the set. So I define the set. So I'm defining some Sxy. So for convenience, what is that I'm telling? So Sxy. So again, I'll repeat things one more time because in a new page. So G is acting on X. Very careful. Listen carefully. G is acting on X, and I take small x belong to capital X, and I am looking orbit of X that I know, and I take a small y belongs to orbit of X. Right. Now I am defining a set Sxy. How I define? All those G in G such that can you somebody guess it?
G dot X equal to Y.
Yeah, so Anirban told last class also. Remember this? Anirban defined this actually last class. So those who are there, Anirban defined this. So G dot X equal to Y. So what is SXX?
Stabilizer.
Stabilizer of X. Yeah, it is tab of X, right? Okay, so writing stab is good, right? Somebody was stabbing. So, okay, anyhow. So stabilizer of X. Okay, first of all, this is non-empty, right? It is non-empty, I know.
Yes.
So can you somehow now tell me that what is happening? So what is that I want to say? Y belongs to orbit of X, Sxy. Can somebody tell me what is this equal to? Take time. Please do not tell immediately. Please other people to think about. This is very, very useful. Okay, so orbit of X पे एक एक element ले रहा हूँ and I am constructing Sxy. X is fixed, Y is changing. All those G such that it is going to X goes to Y. So what is this whole equal to? Yeah, now we can go ahead. No need to raise hand, tell me.
Is it the group itself?
On the whole group itself.
Yeah.
So what about Sxy intersection Sxz when Y not equal to Z?
Seems empty.
Empty. Yeah, try to prove that it is true. So I promised earlier, na? So 1x is giving a partition to orbits are partitioning X, group action also partitioning G now. Okay. So what is that partition? Actually, I am not looking to other orbits also. See, other orbits I am not considered. Only this orbit only I am taking. So what is that I am taking? This guy. So this guy is Sxx. All those G which are mapped to X. This guy is all those G which map to Y. All those G which map to Z. So now orbit of X is G dot X for every G in G. You remember the definition? Orbit of X is equal to G dot X such that G belongs to G. I am not putting any restriction. I am taking all G, right? So you take any G that takes to one of the elements in the orbit, right? That's why it is this is happening. That's why Akash told this, right? And this you need to check. So it is giving a partition. Okay, that is one thing. So now what is the next thing you can say further? Anirban knows actually. Go ahead, Anirban.
Coset like partition.
Yeah, cosets. Actually, these are actually Sx and Sxy. They are part. So cardinalities are equal. That we need to check again. Okay, and these are actually cosets of Sxx. Okay, I am just leaving like that. So you will appreciate and proving on your own may be helpful to you because this is the main result, na? In the so here I am getting something, right? So from this what you get? What is a cardinality of once assume that you proved it? Assume. Sakshi, can you tell me? Assume that you proved this thing. Then cardinality of G equal to these are disjoint, their union equal to G. Then what is that?
Their product.
These are the sets. Their union is equal to whole of G. Their intersection is empty. So then what is the cardinality of G equal to?
Yeah, it should be their product, right? Varying over Y.
Product or
sorry,
sum?
Sum.
Sum.
Sorry. Yeah.
So Y belongs to orbit of X, Sxy. What is the mistake? One more thing I have to put. Okay, so it is cardinality. All right. Okay. So, but now what is that? If you assume this part, what happens? This implies Somebody can tell me here.
Cardinality of x into orbit. Cardinality of
So it is a cardinality of orbit of x. For each orbit element, I am getting 1. I am adding that many times, they are equal. So that is cardinality of orbit of x into stabilizer of x. Cardinality, right? So this is what we called orbit stabilizer theorem. Of course, so I done mistake. So I brought it, but so what is it? I had to tell G is a finite group. So let us assume X is also finite. So no problems at this juncture. Suppose G is a finite group and acting on a finite set X. So for convenience for us, first one case, this case. Okay, then we have a nice result that for every X I have so I see this is not one equation. For every X belongs to X, cardinality of G is equal to 1 minute. Yeah? Let me complete this. Yeah, orbit of X into stabilizer of X. Yeah, you can now proceed.
Yeah, so I was saying that there's another direction from which you can come to this.
Yeah, there are many ways to prove.
Yeah.
One approach I proved is that I liked this approach because the diagrams and all, what is going on. So if you go to that way, you may not get that appreciation.
Yeah.
So we can in general say something with index maybe like G up G divided by Sx.
So stabilizer. So this G by stabilizer of X, this index is equal to the orbit of X, right? No.
No, that is finite or not. That also I don't know.
A finite case only. I'm talking about finite case only.
No, I was trying to generalize to infinite.
Infinite case
it's
also.
not working.
Yeah.
No, but you can generalize to infinite things. This all of it will become a statement about cardinalities. So cardinality of the disjoint union is actually defined to be sum of the cardinalities. So you'll just get into cardinal arithmetic.
But one point I want to tell you is that now G acts on G by conjugacy action, right? That we know. So in that case, what I'll get? What is the stabilizer of X?
Centralizer of X.
Centralizer of X. So C by, some people write C of X, some people write, I will write Z of X. The cardinality, this is subgroup, and so then cardinality of this is equal to the conjugacy class of X. So cardinality of the conjugacy class. So that can be derived from here. It is more general. We proved more general. So now all those results comes from here. You prove it, then you can use it, realize it. It is more generalized thing you proved. Okay. So conjugacy action is a particular action. Yeah, so actually I'm not completely proved this part equal to this, so I'm giving some time to you so that you will also, you know that where we need to do, where we not to do, like. Yeah, Samhita, is it till now clear, everything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I request you that there are articles by Keith Conrad, okay? Keith Conrad wrote some articles, so look into that.
Alright.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so now I'll give one small result, okay? So Aparna will respond to that. So let us see. The beauty, how we can utilize these things and all, now you will see that. Okay. Let H be a normal subgroup of a finite group G. Order of H is equal to P, where P is the smallest prime dividing in order of G. I'll write order of G maybe. So any questions till now? The statement. Okay, this entire thing is hypothesis.
Such an H exists. Such an H
exist. Oh, no, it need not exist. See,
okay,
I'll come. Yeah, so the conclusion, if you see, then you will see that why it not comes also. I'll tell in a while. So H is a normal subgroup of a finite group G and order of H equal to P, where P is the smallest prime dividing the order of the group G. Then we are claiming that H is actually subgroup of the center of the group itself. H sits inside center of the group. See, if it is like that is there, then every group is not simple, right? You have the group, simple groups. There is a concept of simple group. Hai na? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
no, I don't know.
Okay, you don't know, no problem. That is good actually. It is good because I want to use these group actions to prove entire group theory. Even Lagrange theorem we can prove by using group actions. We can prove Cauchy's theorem by group actions. Today I'll try to prove that also. And many things. Entire group theory now you do not, this is the first time you are looking group theory. I need, of course, group and subgroup, normal subgroups, small thing, but those also I can define it here itself. But all the results can be proved here. Okay, so first, so I will come to that whatever I told. Okay, for example, A5 is simple. What do you mean by simple? So it has no normal subgroup except the identity and A5. I'll repeat, A5 does not have no normal subgroup other than identity and A5. There anyhow every group will have at least two normal subgroups. It is like a primes. Is it okay? Now, simple means that no normal subgroups, non-trivial normal subgroups.
Yes.
Okay, now what is order of A5?
Half of 5 factorial.
Yeah, 5 factorial by 2, but still it is 2 divides this, right? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Now if 2 divides A5, right? So if there is a normal subgroup of order 2, then A5 is not simple, right? It doesn't exist. I can give many examples. Okay, some of you understood, you not understood, that's okay, no problem. I'll come to you later, but right now the statement is clear.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now the beauty comes. Small proof, but wonderful. You will see that why group actions are very important. So H is, what is H?
Normal subgroup.
Normal subgroup. Remember that. Order of H equal to how much? Prime number. What is P? P divides order of G, of course, and P is the smallest of such prime, smallest prime. These are the things are given to me. What is my claim? H is subgroup of the center of the group. Okay, this is my goal. Okay, now I am my G acting on H. G acting on H. Okay, how? The action is conjugacy action. Okay, so G dot H is defined as GH G inverse. Okay, check that is it a map from G cross H to H?
Yes, sir.
Because H is normal subgroup, hai na? So GH G inverse is in again H only. So conjugacy action now becomes a restricted to H also now becomes an action. Okay, good. So it is an action. Then what do you say about by class equation? Can you remember that? Cardinality of H equal to
ZG plus
P.
ZG. Instead of that, I am telling that you remember ZG, no. But that is class equation. You are only confined to conjugacy classes. G acting on G, but this is different. G acting on H. So general class equation batao. So X equal to that one.
So XG union orbit.
XG union, right. So here I write X is my H. X is my H. G is G. So HG. What is HG? Remember, okay. I'm going further. So union orbits orbit of X greater than 1. Right? Okay. What is this guy? Set of all elements which are fixed by every element of G. Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it empty or non-empty? Means, is there any element in H thus that G dot that element is equal to that element only?
Identity.
Identity is there, right? So it is non-empty. So it has at least one element. What is the cardinality of H?
So P.
P. Here this cardinality is at least one. Identity is there, right? So now suppose I want to say that these are all empty. These are all empty. I want to show. Suppose it is one of them is non-empty. Then what is the orbit size?
So at least 2.
2 or more, right? So orbit size now lies in between where and where? If it exists between 1 and
Group size.
Order of H.
Yeah, order of H. So P, right? Yeah, it is union. Na? It is strictly less than P and strictly greater than 1, right? That's what we are assuming. Then, so it is a number, cardinality, sorry. So then what we can say about the cardinality of orbit of X? Once the natural number is greater than 1, then what happens?
So it is equal to 2 or more.
No. So you have a natural number n which is greater than 1. What we can say by fundamental
It has a prime divisor.
It has a prime divisor. Okay. So this orbit of X has a prime divisor, but that prime is lies in between?
Yes, sir, 1 and P.
So what is the problem?
So we can't have such like.
Why?
So order of this will divide H, right? So
order of X divides the order of the group. Group is G, do not confuse. So X is H here. X is H, group is G, group G only. Orbit of order of the group equal to order of X in orbit of cardinality of orbit of X into stabilizer of X. Orbit of X, order of orbit of X divides the order of the group. See, that is a beauty. See, G is the sum set, X is sum set, right? When it is acting on this, there is a partition. So if they are finite sets, orbit size is dividing the order of the group. That is a beauty, right? Okay, yeah. Go ahead now. Yes. Yeah, Ishan, go ahead.
Yeah, so if orbit has a divisor which is less than P, then orbit is going to divide the
order
cardinality of the orbit is going to divide the order of.
Yeah, that is a contradiction because P is the smallest. Correct. Yeah. So that means that this cannot happen. This cannot happen. So I have to erase this, right? This part is not there. So only this. This means what? Okay, I'm just writing again, but this means what?
P is equal to
1. So that means every element is fixed by everything. So that means that every element in H is commuting with everyone, right? That is the meaning. What do you mean? What do you mean by Hg? Hg is all those elements which are fixed by every element of G. Xg, remember, I told you that these are three things are important: orbit of X, stabilizer of X, X power G. Yeah, later one more set will come. So that's what you have to internalize: orbit of X, stabilizer of X. Right? Okay. And orbit of X. So this is not there. So every element is fixed by C. So every element is fixed by G means GH G inverse equal to H. That is GH is equal to HG. So for every G, that means H commuting with every guy. That means every element in H is a center of the group. H is subset of sub center. Okay. Yeah, actually I not covered much. Yeah, but we'll continue in the next class. Right? Any questions?
Sir, can you repeat the last part?
What is that you want?
Sir, like after orbit, what you did, I didn't.
Okay. See, orbit size is greater than 1, then is a problem. That part is okay?
Yes, sir.
It is because orbit is orbit size is strictly lies between 1 and p. So whenever it is greater than 1, it has a prime factor. That prime factor is dividing orbit of X. Cardinality of orbit of X divides the cardinality of G. So that prime is dividing G, but P is the smallest prime dividing G. So that's a contradiction. So orbit of X cannot be greater than 1. So there is this part is not there. So that means that H is equal to Hg. So what the meaning that? So every element H in H is in Hg. Right? H belongs to Hg matlab this H is fixed by every element of G. H belongs to Hg, meaning is that, like think Xg if you have doubt. So that is G dot H equal to H only. But what is G dot H means? Here the operation is GH G inverse, which is equal to H. This is true for every G. Hg means H is fixed by every element of the group. So that is GH is equal to Hg for every G. That means H belongs to the center of the group. That means H is subgroup of center of the group. Yeah. Any doubts?
Yes, sir. It's fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So what is that we proved? The finite index, the smallest index prime. Once it is normal, then it will sit inside the center of the group. It is very useful result later in the group theory.
So why order of orbit is less than p?
Oh, okay. So because so H equal to Hg union this part, right? These are all equivalence classes. Right?
Okay.
Order of H already I took P.
Ha.
And here it is 1 already at least. Identity is fixed by every guy. Hg is non-empty, at least one element. I proved that beforehand. Now now orbit sizes is strictly licensed between 1 and p. That is known. Less. Yeah.
So it means you used order of orbit divides
order of orbit stabilizer theorem.
Okay, I understood.
So now this is the thing I have. P divides the order of the group, and so order of X is now strictly licensed between 1 and P, and it has a prime factor. So this divide this, then it divide this, but P is the smallest prime. They are a contradiction. So I cannot have any orbit. So non-singleton orbits. All are singleton orbits. Singleton orbits means they are fixed by everyone. Yeah.
What gave the idea to use conjugacy class action? Because
this is a very good question. Actually, these are the things actually. See, the group action is wonderful, but these ideas has to come. but that takes time. So many things can be proved by using group actions, provided whatever you want, you need to construct G and X such a way that we need to prove it. For example, next class I will prove Cauchy's theorem. So actually Cauchy's theorem proved earlier, but there is a journal called American Mathematical Monthly. So there one person proved by using group actions. So that is world famous ho gaya. So small, very nice, simple proof, right? The way he constructed X and G and X, beautiful actually. That's what exactly the question you asked. That ingenious, that came from that how the thoughts came, G and X. So that's why it is a beautiful subject. So in future you will see that entire mathematics group actions will come wherever you go. Later you will see that okay, it's actually group action is going on. Okay, so that much later you will come up with that. Manifolds, many things will come. So for example, SLN of R acts on the upper half plane. So in the complex analysis, when you go to, there is a conformal mappings, they are acting on the complex plane. Like that, everywhere group actions will come into play. But your question is valid question. Yeah, so I'll stop here. Any doubts you have, then let me know still. Akash, you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Thanks for coming here. Actually, this is useful actually. Okay.